Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right, this is going to be a general reading. So try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Okay, there is a 5 of Swords. There is something that we are wrestling with mentally, psychically, intellectually. Okay? There's a problem that we need to solve. Well, let's put this into some context. Let's use our Dove and Serpent spread. Interesting. Oh, interesting. Yeah. If you got a problem, well, we'll solve it. This is very interesting. We see a lot of this kind of conflict energy. We see a lot of movement with these 5, 5, 5. And then we see some things changing and some things stabilizing. See, we've got the Justice or Adjustment card. So whatever our problem is, whatever this dilemma is, I feel like we're really going to solve it. I feel like this is going to be a big shift for you, stepping into this this solution, right? Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use the Smith-Waite Tarot. And this is just one card that we select randomly. We're going to put Alien, Simon, Mork, Ripley right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end of the reading. And we're going to see if it might tie everything together and, give us the confirmation that we need, right? Let's look at what we've got going on. First, I noticed this is the only major arcana card. So this is the big time spiritual goal that we're after. Clarity, balance. This is the solution, right? This is us figuring out how to accurately perceive and judge and deal with whatever situation we're in. Might be a work thing. We see some fire. We don't see any water at all. Nothing. Can maybe pull a little bit of water out of a 3, right? Because of its position on the tree of life. It's kind of a watery, number. A little bit of water in the 8, I feel. But otherwise, we've got fire. We've got a lot of air. And we've got a lot of earth. Here too. Right? A lot of earth, a lot of air. And the earth and the air, you know what? They don't get along. When we're talking about the elements, they are not friends. They make each other's lives very difficult. So I feel like whatever we're doing, whatever work we're involved with, trying to go from 3 to 4, it seems like a very simple step, right? It seems, I should be able to just go from 3 to 4. I should be able to take this idea that I have, this creative project that I'm working on, this project at work. Maybe you're working on a creative project at home. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a family thing. Maybe this is some kind of a spiritual impasse, a spiritual obstacle, right? There's something. It's a speed bump, a roadblock between a 3 and a 4. That seems absurd. It's just 3 to 4. It's not like we're going from 3 to 10 or an ace to a 10 and we've got to cover a lot of ground. It seems like it's one step. But it's not, right? It's not that easy. I don't know if you can hear my cat Pudgy wailing in the background, but he feels this. He feels the tension of this 5. Now, the 5 of Swords is interesting. This is very important because it is us wrestling with something. There's a problem. We're trying to figure out a solution, right? And I think it's kind of grinding us down, right? A lot of mental, psychic, intellectual energy being spent on this. This card is here to remind us not to let the problem work you. We have to work the problem, not the other way around. We have to defeat this problem, not be defeated by it. So this Five of Swords shouldn't be like this. We need to turn it like this. We need to put spirit back on top. We need to put our will, our aspiration, that clarity, right? The spiritual element, the fifth element, back on top, which is, in this situation, represented by this justice or adjustment card, the Libra energy, the balance, the clarity. Interestingly, it's the, the kind of breakthrough air energy. This is, innovation. This is, it's the Libra energy. It's the cardinal air sign, right? So this is that inspiration, that great idea that we finally have achieved that state of balance and mental clarity where we get that aha moment, right? And we can break through in this project, whatever it might be. But the first thing we have to do is to rebuild our confidence, I think, We have to just start working the problem. There's a lot of movement here with the five. The fives are all about change, right? It's there's a big wind right now. It's swirling all around, going in different directions. We've got to work the problem. But we don't want to be defeated by the problem. We have to make sure that we maintain a healthy mind state. Take breaks, refresh yourself. Reinforce positive habits through affirmations, right? Let's keep our confidence about us. This is a difficult thing we're wrestling with. This is a problem that needs a solution. We've got this Prince of Swords here too. This is the fixed air energy, right? It's air on air. And this kind of feels like we're stuck. It feels like we keep running into this problem. It's like this is the wind, and we're just trying to beat that problem to death, but we can't really find a way to penetrate that mystery. It persists no matter how hard I try to figure this out. It doesn't move. It doesn't budge. It's fixed, right? It's stuck. So the five, especially since we know that we can flip this pentagram around, this is saying let's try some other tactics, right? Let's not try so hard. Let's not try at all. Let's be gentle like a breeze, right? It's a nice mystery from the Tao Te Ching, from the I Ching, this idea of gentleness, of yielding. A gentle breeze will find a crack in the door sill, will find a weakness in the frame of the house, and the air will find its way in. It's easier to penetrate this four, right? Kind of looks like a castle, looks like a house. It's easier for us to penetrate this issue and find our way in to the solution. This is the solution maybe here. It's easier for us to find our way into the solution when we aren't just like beating our head against the door. We have to change our methodology, be a little bit more subtle, right? Just calm our minds, still our minds. This is the stillness out of which will be spawned that great idea, right? I think that we have to shift our energy around here. We have to try to be a little bit more subtle. Be a little bit more like that gentle breeze that's just going to find its way inside of this castle. Okay? Now, the Five of Pentacles at the top. This is why. Or this is what we're worried about. I think that this is something that affects your well-being, your livelihood. Maybe it's a work thing. Maybe it's a family thing. Maybe this is about bills or finances. There's some worry here. It feels like we're on shaky ground, but this is above us. So it kind of feels like the roof is kind of weak, that things might come crashing down. We're trying to find a solution to this. We're trying to figure out a way to either fix the roof or get the heck out of the house, right? So this is kind of, we don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know what. We just kind of, we can see it coming. All right, there's some difficulty, something looming above us that we need to find a solution to. Interestingly, we have 3, 4, 5. And really, we have the 2, 3, 4, 5 of Pentacles, right? So the way that this is kind of set up, it's like we've made maybe some very fast changes. Maybe we've made some very kind of abrupt moves in our finances or in our physical life. We made some changes real quick in our efforts to create a more stable future. And now we're kind of worried about how stable it's really going to be, right? Did we maybe go a little bit too far? Did we maybe push this too far? And instead of just staying at a 4, maybe we're kind of creating a 5. Maybe this is a good foundation, but we aren't really sure how to build the roof yet. You know, the bottom floor is good, but how do we then continue to build upwards? Where do we go from here? You know, so it might be a lot of kind of second guessing the foundation itself, or we're just trying to get to this foundation, right? We're still trying to build this ground floor, but we're already worried about what's coming next. Maybe this is kind of a bit of a storm that's on its way. We've got to get this thing finished. You know, we see a lot of this Mars kind of energy with these 2 cards here. With the 3 of Pentacles and the 2 of Wands, some very martial energy. I feel like this was kind of done in haste. I feel like for whatever reason there was a quick decision, right? That you felt rushed or hurried to make this move, make these, whatever these changes were in your environment, your life. We can't go back, though. We can't undo it. We've got to find the way forward. We've got to shift this energy in the right way, right? Because I feel like there's a need for you to take charge and make a decision. You're kind of the leader here. It's your life. Maybe you're in charge of the family. Maybe this is your business. Maybe you're in charge of the department at work. Maybe you have other people that rely on you. Okay. Because the whole thing really is resting on this 2 of Wands. It's resting on you kind of being the boss here. And you're the boss. You make the decisions on how to move forward. That's kind of what the boss here does. But we see an excess of this Mars energy. See, this card's Mars in Aries. This is Mars in Capricorn. So it's a lot of this kind of forceful thing. It's just kind of, it's about brute forcing it rather than strategy. So we need to shift this energy. I think the energy is shifting from this more brutal and blunt Mars energy to a more mellow kind of energy. See, we go from the past, which is Mars in Capricorn, to the future, which is the Sun in Capricorn. So it's still powerful, it's still forceful, but it's stable. Mars runs out of steam. Mars just wants to break everything down and just to really force its way through. The Sun here is more about giving life, providing something that is sustaining and lasting. Right? This is the one step. We want to go from a 3 to a 4. We want to go from just this brutal rush of energy to a kind of stable progress, a steady, a more enlightened progress, but still progress. It's not like we're stopping. But we have to get ready for this shift. We can't just stay with the Mars energy. We've got to, here we have a little bit of, the Mercury energy here is causing a little bit of worry and nervousness about what's going on in the future, about how this is all going to play out. Are we going to have the stability, safety, security, integrity, or not? But our strategy now, this is one of not Mars, but Venus. Yeah. This is some Venus energy. Right? So I feel as if this is really a big shift in your approach. And we need a little bit more subtlety if we're going to penetrate through the walls of this and get to this solution for this problem. Okay? Now, with the Three of Pentacles in the recent past, I feel like this was a big idea that you had. And I think that you really put everything you had into it. And now we really do need it to work out. Right? Because you put everything in there. You're devoting all of your time, blood, sweat, and tears, heart, mind, body, thought, word, and deed. Everything is committed to this work. Yeah. And again, it could be a family thing, personal, your house, could be your job, your business, could be your career path, your education, your spiritual path, whatever it is. I think this is going to resonate in different ways for different people. It usually does. Feel free to leave me some comments. Let me know kind of which area of your life this is taking place. Because we need to recognize that we've been in this Mars approach, this kind of brutal, almost destructive force, right? It needs to be tempered. We need to shift. That shift is coming. We're moving into a more subtle kind of Venus approach, right? Venus was the only thing that could get Mars to kind of stop his rampage, right? And so maybe this problem, maybe what we think is a problem, is not really necessarily a problem, but it's a way that Spirit is communicating to us the need for this energy shift, right? Maybe we've been rampaging too much, and Venus is here to say, look, there's a problem for us to solve, so why don't you go rest, Mars, and me and Mercury will solve it, right? Venus and Mercury can solve it. You go take a rest, you know? So it's kind of, it's bringing in this new energy shift by this seeming problem that needs a solution, but we can't just bang on it with a hammer, you know? We need a different approach. I like that. I think that works. Now, as we move to the path of the serpent, we see, of course, more of this fiery energy, right? The Five of Wands here. I think that this is, of course, we do have all of these fives. I think this is the other kind of the energy that's needed in here. See, this is Saturn in Leo. We're really doing a kind of really nice astrological kind of approach today. I like it when the planets kind of stand out a little bit more in the readings. So this is some Saturn in Leo. This is using a lot of that good fire energy. Not the Mars energy, but the real creative, conscious, aware, awake energy. In a controlled, disciplined, very restrained way. It's like, it's that good quality of Leo, right? Leo energy is not just out tearing down walls and ripping up the dirt and knocking over trees. It's more refined. It's restrained. It's strength that doesn't need to be displayed all the time. Yeah, that's the Five of Wands. So we have this strength and this creativity that we can exhibit through our restraint, right? We don't need to make a show of our strength. Our strength is just like a vibe that is going to be, coming off of us, right? It's our aura. And I think that this is the difficult thing for you, because again, we're asking Mars, go lay down, have a nap, Have something to eat. You're cranky, Mars. Go home. And this is Mars kind of, at home grumbling, like really wants to go out and rip up trees and dig holes in the ground, but has to restrain itself. Yeah. But this is what is needed right now. If we're going to stabilize this situation, we have to show our strength by being able to restrain it. Okay, we got to get our Mars under control here. I think Mars is exalted in Leo, isn't it? I think so. So, it's almost like we sent Mars off to hang out with the sun, and the sun is just kind of able to say, yeah, I know, buddy. We really want to go rip up trees, but later. Let's just rest for now, right? You just send him over to a friend's house, and he can kind of, just have someone to talk to, keep him busy while we take care of this issue with the more Mercury-Venus strategy, right? A little bit more subtlety, a little bit more tact, a little bit more of this. See, this is the creative thinking and stuff too, but Mercury is not so much creative as clever, right? We need a little bit more cleverness and subtlety, gentleness, a little bit more grace in the matter, right? We need Venus and Mercury, right? We need the Aphrodite and Hermes to get together to come up with the plan for this. Not so much Aries, Mars kind of energy. Yeah. And Aries, like the god of war, not like an Aries person. I don't know if there are really a lot of other people involved in this with you. We see over here a two of pentacles in your environment, your relationship with the environment. I don't know that this really is dealing with, other personalities, right? I think this is something that you're trying to really solve. Maybe there are other people that look to you for leadership, but they're not in this mix, right? This is kind of something that you've got to figure out. Now, the two of pentacles in the environment could be the beginning of this cycle, 2, 3, 4, and then boom, we get hit with all the 5s, right? Just when we thought we were getting to this stable and steady 4, we get hit with all these 5s. And that again is because I think we made a big change. This could be you made a big, huge change at work. You made a big, huge change at home or wherever. We chose to do something really big difference, big change. That set all of this in motion. We can't go back. We can't undo this. We can't flip this card over because it's the same card. So there's really nothing else to do here except to allow this energy shift to take place, right? It's kind of you're hitting the time clock on the Mars energy, and Venus and Mercury are going to clock in and take care of this issue. So we just have to allow that energy to shift. We have to make the choice to calm our Mars energy down and start thinking of a different, more subtle, gentle way to get through this issue. I really don't know exactly what it is. The next card, the card that we don't want, is interesting. It is the Jupiter in Gemini, 8 of Swords. Things are bad enough with the 5s here, right? But if we start expanding on this kind of, I think what Gemini is very good at, analysis, thinking, overthinking, creating a million different scenarios, a million different realities. It's the energy of multiplicity. It's kind of we're being a little bit too fruitful in our thinking, right? We have too many plans, right? We've come up with too many strategies. So there is a need for this restraint. We still got this Saturn energy here with that. But that's one risk we run when we allow Mercury and Venus to get together to make a plan. Well, together they might kind of just go off on a tangent, and they might suddenly, they've got a million different plans, and it's like we've tasked them to write a short story. But they got so carried away with it together, collaborating, that they just wrote a whole series of novels, and it's just like, that's not what we asked you to do, right? Nothing inherently wrong with it, but it's just kind of a waste of time right now. And this reminds me of like cartoons and stuff, you know, where you're just, we're meant to just figure out how to unlock this door. I come back and check on you in 5 minutes, and you've got all this other stuff going on. You know, all these other things, and the lock is still locked. The door is still closed. You know, it's kind of, you know, like a toddler. And I've got a 3-year-old, and you know, I might ask her, okay, let's put away our toys. She says, okay. I walk away for 5 minutes, go in the other room, I come back. Not only did she not put away the toys, but she has every other toy out and built up into all these other scenarios. She's got a whole world going on. And it's like, wait, we've got to go. You know, we've got class in a few minutes. We've got to get on the road. So this is the kind of energy we don't want. It's Jupiter in Gemini. It's an expansiveness. It's an expansion of your natural skill and talent. It's a real talent. Right? It's not negative energy, really. There's a little bit of a shadow side to it, especially now. We don't want this. We want maybe one good plan, maybe two. Right? We don't need a whole world built right now. Okay? And that's why this card is in the position of what we don't want. So we need to be aware of this if we're starting to kind of overdo the thinking a little bit. Because what we really need is this clarity. This Libra energy, justice or adjustment, this is subtlety. This is not big swings of the pendulum back and forth. It's not like that. This is small adjustments, gentle, tactful, graceful, clever. Right? This is a good combination of the Venus and Mercury energies. This is the kind of best expression of that Venus energy. This is accepting the shift of this energy, going from this Mars energy to this Venus-Mercury energy, allowing that shift to take place. And the innovation, the great idea, the light bulb moment that this is going to bring, right? This is the cardinal air. This is when the door finally opens, it's that rush of fresh air, right? It's that rush of freedom, you know, the first really deep breath. This is what we need. And this is balance. This is calm. This is not emotional. Again, we don't really have any water energy here. It's not a time for us to get too emotional. We've got to stay focused here. We don't want to get carried away by any of this air energy. We need the balanced, focused, purpose-driven air energy. Let's look at the mystery card now. Thank you, Alien, Simon, Mork Ripley. Appreciate you always. It's all about finding the perfect solution here. So let's see, what do we think this is going to be? I'm going to laugh if it's some water energy. I don't feel like it's going to be water energy. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling like we're opening the door with this justice or adjustment. We're finding the right combination of things. We've penetrated in with that Venus Mercury, that gentle, graceful, subtle, clever kind of solution here. And that is going to allow the doors to burst open. I'm thinking tower energy. A good tower, a good breakthrough. Right? That's what we kind of need here anyway. Yeah. Heck yeah, look at that, baby. Tower energy. We're blowing the doors off of this thing, but we're doing so with tact and subtlety and grace, right? Venus and Mercury. We're not just banging on the door until the tower crumbles. No, we're penetrating our way in subtly, finding a solution, and just then blowing the doors off this thing. And I think it's going to be amazing. This is a tower moment, but in a very good way, like leading to very, very successful energy. And I think it's all a matter of getting ready for this energy shift, accepting this shift of energy from the Mars to the more graceful, subtle, tactful Venus energy. That is going to unlock the future. I like this a lot. We're going to do an extended reading, Gemini. If you want to stick around, click either above or below in the description box. New readings come out every day, 6 a.m. Chicago time. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, leave a comment. I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I will see you again very, very soon.